Hello and welcome to Best Left Forgotten, Stuff We've Forgotten, a one-shot series. My name is Miriam Feats and I am your game master for this Kids on Bikes.
Yeah!
Best Left Forgotten one-shot.
My name is Nathan Quadrio and I am playing Sebastian Falk, but my friends call me Bass.
My name is Jess Wolfendale and I'm playing Charlotte Robinson, but my friends call me Charlie.
Alrighty, so for our one-shot, that's probably going to be more than a one-shot, we will be using the Kids on Bikes system.
We love it.
And in the Kids on Bikes system, we start with some character creation questions to get a better understanding of Charlie and Bass, how they know each other, why they're friends, not friends, what exactly is going on there.
Yeah.
So can you guys just give us a brief rundown of how you guys do know each other?
So Bass and Charlie go to school together.
Different grades.
Different grades, yes, a few years between them. But they are in the AV club together.
Whoop, whoop.
Brilliant.
Represent.
AV club!
And our parents are friends. We should mention that.
Yes, and they're in like a book club together.
Nice.
All right. Nathan, can you roll me a d20, please?
Always. Anything for you. That's a 13.
Nathan,
Yes?
what is it about Charlie that always makes you happy?
Wow. This is taking a bit too long to answer.
You know, don't...
I think that there is a strength about Charlie's like kind of aura and energy. And I think that Bass being so young may not recognize that as just I'm the best teenishness that Charlie has. But there's some kind of security in that as somebody who generally doesn't have many friends and keeps to himself a lot. There's something about having somebody who is so out there and very much like...
I have a lot of strong convictions.
Yes. And there's something secure in that.
Excellent. Jess, can you also roll me a d20?
Yeah. 16.
I'm
I'm
a
a
grandmother.
Jess, what would losing Bass mean to you?
That's such a heavy question.
Yeah, you rolled a
for
really
kid
intense one.
system. Jesus. I mean, I'd be sad for sure.
That's a good start.
It's a very good start.
Say it with more conviction.
I'd be so sad, you guys.
Well, I mean, think about it more like lose, but it could also be
Yeah,
like,
what
lose
if-
as in move
what
away.
if I went back to
Yeah.
Quebec?
Cool.
What if I went back home and you never saw me and my hot French mum again?
Okay, so we're also establishing the French mum is hot. All right, good to know.
Losing Bass's mum would be so heartbreaking. I feel like Charlie doesn't necessarily think that Bass moving away would be a terrible thing, but in reality, it would be like this big hole in her life where it's like, even for AV Club, I feel like there's a little bit of tension with me being there, not as a tech expert, just as someone who goes there to use the chat rooms. But I feel like Bass is always someone I can ask for help. And without that, I wouldn't have the same allyship that I currently do within AV Club.
All right, well, let's jump right in.
Let's jump right in.
Booyah!
The small town of Forrestview is nothing to write home about. It sits along an old highway in a small valley in the middle of the dense Oregon woodlands. And if you find yourself in this sleepy little town, well, unless you're a local, the odds are that you're only passing through on your way to somewhere far more interesting. But if you do happen to find yourself in Forrestview and stick around for longer than a coffee and a pit stop, you may just discover a little bit more than you first expected. The locals, while hardy and stalwart as the forest around them, will always greet a traveler with a firm handshake and a warm smile. The buildings, with their sturdy brick walls and flaking and faded paint, are maintained with care and offer warm reprieve when chill winds blow down through the hills. The road is winding, the pavement is cracked, and the grass always overgrown underfoot of the children running home from school. And then, of course, there's the matter of Bigfoot. Forrestview is not the only town in Oregon to lay claim to sightings of the Sasquatch, but there is something in the crisp valley air, the perpetual whiff of pine on the breeze, the gentle creaking of branches beneath the midnight wind, that makes it easier to believe that here, more than any other place, he might just be hiding somewhere, out there, in the endless forest. The locals certainly seem to think so. His lumbering figure graces the sign welcoming you into town. Along the main strip sits a charming souvenir shop full to the brim with knickknacks, t-shirts, bobbleheads, and keychains capturing the local legend. tucked between the forest and the highway, is the Bigfoot Museum, an old, creaking building that the locals will assure you is well worth the visit, although the $20 door charge might just dissuade you. And, just in the last few months, the signs have started going up. First, as flyers in the window of the cafe and the diner, then posters on the walls of the library and the town hall, and now, a bright, freshly painted sign right as you enter town. Bigfoot Amusement Park, coming this summer.
My God.
So perhaps there is something to write home about after all. The year is 1995.
Yeah, baby.
And you are two of the many local Forrestview kids. It is 3 p.m. on Saturday, the 18th of March, the second to last day of spring break. And I'll be honest, guys, you're feeling pretty bored.
Yeah.
Bass, it's not been a good day for you. Tell me why.
My mum is a nurse.
Yep.
And she does kind of shift work. And so I think that it's just another day sitting at home with nobody to see or talk to or play with. And I've kind of got my books, but I've read all my books. And I've gone to the video store, but I've watched all the new movies that they have. And I kind of want to go and talk to somebody, which is a rare thing, but there's really nobody to go and talk to.
At a couple minutes past 3, your mum's car rumbles up the driveway. She comes into the house. She's looking very sort of harried and tired, and she's still in her scrubs.
Mm-hmm.
And she looks at you. Bess, what are you still doing here?
Mamu?
I left a note on the fridge. Why did you not?
What?
And you look over at the fridge, and there's a big note that somehow you've missed all day that says, book club is being held here at 3:30. You need to be at Charlie's because I can't have you at home.
That's a big note.
It's a big note, yeah.
She had to add some
Also,
paper to
wait
it.
a
So that
second.
It's written in French, and in French it's faster.
grossly inaccurate for anything French ever.
Oh, I'm sorry, Mamu.
No, it's okay. It's just I need to clean the house. I thought you would be at Charlie's already. And she comes over and she just gives you sort of a flying kiss on the head. You don't mind riding your bike over there, do you?
I know that's okay, Mum.
And she's going to run sort of just off into another room, and you can hear the shower turn on, and she's got to get ready before all of her book club ladies come over.
Okay. And I'd like to just grab my bag,
Yep.
and I'll put my camcorder in it, and my little kind of pocketbook of photos of me and my mom and my dad, and then my handwritten script of Pulp Fiction, and I put it on my backpack, and I'll get on my bike and I'll cycle over to Charlie's house.
Fabulous. You cycle out the door and
Props.
Oh my God.
Props.
Yes. Is this?
Oh my God. Guys, it's a hand-drawn map.
We are for sure going to put this on our socials.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is
I've already taken
insane.
photos for the
Yeah,
Instagram.
this is gorgeous.
Have a few minutes, familiarize yourself with all the things that are on there. You're cycling the entirety of 5 minutes, sort of over the highway, up and around one of the side streets to Charlotte's house, which is at the top of the map, right on the edge of the forest line. Charlie. Hey. Why have you been having a great day so far?
no, this is so... I'm pumped to get back to school. We don't have any computers at my house, and so it's so important. But today, I've finished writing my latest blog post that's going to go up on the forums, all about why Bigfoot isn't real. And
Jess, this could... Oh, my God. This is going to be so good. Anyway.
Scandal.
Continue.
it's not. He's so commercial, you guys. It makes absolutely no sense. If Bigfoot's real, he's a sellout. So, yeah, no, it's just a long, drawn-out rant that any teenager would do. My dark mind level of
Brilliant.
it's ready to go.
And just as you put that final flourish, the most biting, witty, sarcastic thing that you've ever managed to pen in your entire life, you hear,
Hello? Hello?
Oh my God.
Charlie?
Charlie, get the door.
Okay, mama. And I walk to the door and I open it. I'm like, hey, come in or whatever.
Why is your mother here? I thought that she was supposed to be at the book club.
And you see Charlie's mum throwing a book in a handbag. You both immediately notice that this book has not been read, but she chucks it in anyway. She sort of like just taps you on the shoulder as she's walking out the door. Dinner's in the fridge. Help yourself, Bass. You know where everything is. And she just walks, car door slams, and you hear the car pulling out the drive.
Goodbye, Mrs. Robinson.
She does not wave. As you welcome Bass into your house, Charlie, what does it look like in here?
We definitely live in one of those comfortable, messy houses. So, like, to someone else, it's very disorganized. It's, things haven't been dusted, things haven't been put away, but, like, it's not dirty. It's just sort of, it's comfortable. It's a nest. It's how we live. An old CRT TV that's, like, covered in dust. It's a mess, like it always is.
Yeah. Alrighty. Bass, you walk in. You know there are entirely two things to do while you're at the Robinsons. There is a very old cabinet full of board games. All of them have at least one piece missing, if not more, that are vital to the board game running properly. So they're really not playable, but they're there and you can try and do something with them. Or there is a very old Atari system that lets you play Pong.
This is sounding more and more like my house growing up.
I'm not going to take any active moves.
Yep.
So I'm going to go and kind of sit on the couch, almost kind of like, expectantly, where it's like, oh, I honestly want to play Pong at the Atari, but I'm not going to ask because that would be so awkward.
Yeah.
So I'm just going to go and sit right on the edge of the couch, just put my backpack by my side and put my hands in my lap.
Okay. Yeah, whatever. And I think I just slump down on the floor next to one of the couches and just start reading through my manifesto, doing little edits as I go along.
Absolutely.
Ignoring this child.
You sit for a while. 5, 10, 20 minutes passes. Charlie's not going to get Pong out for you, Bass. You're on your own here. Charlie, you've gone through your manifesto twice. You found a couple of grammar
It's hilarious.
errors. You're laughing to yourself. Yeah. You definitely think you're going to be the next big thing. And as
14 years old, that's when it happens.
Yeah. And as you are sitting here in the silence, doing absolutely nothing, you hear an almighty crash coming from down the corridor.
I grab my bag and hold it in front of me. Is your dad home?
No. Copper, is that you? Calling to my dog.
There is no response.
Hello?
You hear a shuffling and another smaller crash and a lot of small little things falling off something.
Oh, it's on. Okay. I put down my book and I just grab, there's always that table with 100 things on it. I grab a torch that may or may not work and I start making my way towards the sound.
Okay.
I'd like to grab a rolled up newspaper.
Yep.
That's probably also on that same table and kind of follow very closely behind Charlie, but being significantly shorter, I imagine, right up in their shadow.
Yeah.
I've forgotten you're here at this point.
You creep down the hallway. You continue to hear shuffling. There's a scrape. There's another bump. And now as you get further and further down the hallway, you can hear a muffled ooh, ooh. And it sounds like it's coming from your parents' bedroom.
Okay, but I know my mom's not home.
You know neither of your parents are home.
So I'm not about to walk in on anything.
No.
Okay.
Your mum didn't do the loop, come back, and sneak into her own bedroom.
Parents are weird.
It crosses your mind for a moment, and then you're like, no, she's definitely at book club.
Yeah, she's definitely not here. She loves book club.
I'd like to grab Charlie's vest.
Jesus Christ.
If somebody's in the house, then maybe we should call the chief.
Someone or something. We've got to be the first ones to see it. Don't worry, I'm an expert on these things. And I'm going to move forward. Just stay behind me.
You creep forward. The door to your parents' bedroom is swung open. You see that the first crash that you heard was because whoever this was broke the door frame as they were attempting to get through it. Do you continue into your parents' room?
I'm sneaking in.
All right.
Like a stealth machine.
We are going to make the first roll of the day then. I think that is going to be a flight roll.
Can I also make a flat roll?
Of course. These will be, we'll say difficulty 5.
I'm going to take half.
All right.
That's a 12.
All right.
Nice.
Because I exploded.
Oh, wow.
Oh, my God. Look at you.
I know. I'm good at running away.
Okay, so you start to sneak into the room. Taking half, your pretty used to, teenage instincts sneaking around. You don't want mum to see what you're raiding from the fridge. You don't want dad to know how late you were up writing the manifesto that you're taking to school the next day. You genuinely stop hearing Bass behind you.
Horrifying. From a child, horrifying.
Because Bass, just in this moment of genuine fight or flight instinct, you have just made yourself near invisible. You creep and you see that the door to your parents' little walk-in closet is open and clothes are being thrown out of it as if someone was throwing something behind them, and you see a shirt land on the floor, a pair of slacks, a pair of shoes. You see that your mum's sort of cosmetics are just all over the floor.
Is there any furs being thrown out?
No.
Okay, it's not one of those then. Okay, good.
I'm going to stand at the door. Like, I'm not going to head into I'm going to stand in the doorway.
Okay. To the room or to the closet?
To the room.
To the room.
Whoa,
okay.
Not in the closet. Oh, no, thank you.
Been there. Sorry.
Wow.
I sneak forward until I'm like back to back next to the closet.
Yep.
And then I leap out and I go, reveal your secrets.
Are you lighting the torch?
Yeah, I'm lighting the torch, if it
You
works.
light the torch in an already pretty well-lit room. It's 3:30 in the afternoon. You see before you a figure, 8 feet tall, if he's anything. He has your mum's silk bedtime kimono attempted to wrap around his shoulders, but it looks like a bolero jacket rather than an actual any kind of shirt.
Yep.
A pair of your dad's grey sweatpants are caught on one of his giant feet, and he looks at you. Sorry, I didn't know anyone was home.
Oh my God.
And just freezes.
A card player? Really?
I'd like to sneak into the room and kind of then just be, I want to see what's in there.
Yeah. You sneak around the corner and you see what you would, in all of your knowledge living in this town, know to be Bigfoot.
Oh my God. Hello?
Hi. Sorry, do you have anything that fits? I really, I kind of need to lay low for a while, and my disguises, I don't have them with me.
All right, buddy, I get it. You're a fan. We get 100 of them through here. You've maybe heard of some of my blog posts, but just take off the suit, and then maybe we can talk about how there are many, many better cryptids to be cosplaying.
And while that's happening, I'd like to put my bag down, unzip it, pull out my camcorder, and just behind you start filming.
Are you trying to do that sneakily?
Sure.
Can you make me another flight roll, please? This one is going to be difficulty 10 because he's standing right in front of you looking at what you're doing.
Oh, okay. It's a 5.
It's a 5. All right. His eyes flick to the camcorder and he grabs the closest thing to him, which is your mum's fluffy pink bunny rabbit pajamas, and just holds it in front of his face.
You don't see me. I'm not here.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to. I'll just.
Can you put that down?
And he just sits exactly where he is. You sort of take a closer look at him now, and you see that he is not actually looking that good. His fur is sort of ruffled. There's some clumps in it from some tree branches. And you see, now that you've sort of gotten over the distraction of how big he is in this space, the foot that is not covered in your dad's sweatpants has a bear trap stuck to it. It's not bleeding, but pinching very, very tightly.
I'd like to run in.
Okay.
Your foot is it's stuck.
There was an incident.
I'd like to try and open it up.
All right. How are you attempting to do that? Are you looking for the mechanism to kind of try and unlock it, or are you just sheer force of strength trying to pull it open?
At the moment, sheer force of strength. Did I get an adversity token for failing before?
Oh, you did. Take an adversity token.
Yay.
Then I would say let's make this a brawn check.
And what's the DC?
I think, again, is going to be 10 because you're a very small lad and this is a bear trap.
5.
Alrighty, take another adversity token. You pull as hard as you can, but whatever mechanism locks this thing in has locked. and you don't think you're going to be able to pull it apart by just pulling on it.
Charlie, he's stuck.
You see, this is what happens when you have big feet. It's why it makes absolutely no sense as to no one's ever... Fine. How do you even get yourself in this situation? And I move forward and I look for the mechanism to unlock it.
Make me a brains roll difficulty 7, because I don't think you go hunting very often.
Is this a prepared action?
It can be. If you're you're sitting down, you're taking the time to
I'd like to
look
halve
at
it then.
All right, beautiful. You halve it, you find the sort of mechanism, and it's just sort of like a latch pin that you have to pull out in order for it to unlock. And you do so, and it springs open. Oh. And there is a sort of a relief that, as much as it can, falls over Bigfoot's brow, and it does appear that he was in some kind of pain from.
I, at that point, realize that it's not a suit, and I'm like,
yes. I think being up on it, you're like, oh no, this is full skin.
I sort of like lean back and look at him for a bit. I'm like, okay, so what are you? And I take out my deck of crypto cards and begin to shuffle through. These are handmade cards that Charlie has.
Yeah.
That they've painstakingly written all of the possible cryptids that they've come across.
Amazing.
I'm like, well, you're not a bat squatch because you don't have wings. Can you fly?
No, is
Okay,
that, do I need to?
That's great.
Mr. Foot?
Yes, that's me.
Should we
Not
go?
Bigfoot. Too big for a lava bear.
Sorry, what was your question?
We should go get some ice for you?
Oh, yeah, that'd be great. Thank you.
And he stands up and immediately hits his head on the ceiling, and you hear the sort of bulb in the light in the walk-in closet just shatter.
Come on, dude.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Can you pay for that?
Yeah, sure. And he reaches into his fur and pulls out a wallet and starts rifling through, 10, 20? And just starts pulling out notes.
How much has it gotten there?
Do you want to make me a quick... I'll call this a grit roll because that's street smarts, and you're trying to just like count his cash on the fly.
Yep.
And I'll say that it's DC 10 because it's decently hard to do this.
7.
Take an adversity token. There's like a good amount of money in there, but you have no idea how much it is. But he pulls out a 20 and just gives it to you.
I take it. I put it in one of my utility pockets.
And he sort of gestures to start moving out of the room.
Yeah, I'll like hold his fur and lead him to the kitchen.
All right, yeah.
And then settle him down in a chair, and I'll climb up on a little stool into the freezer to grab some ice.
I'm just going to very quick, I don't know what chair stats are. I'm going to say the grit of a chair is...
Yep.
It's a chair. I'll give it a D6.
No, I think that's reasonable.
Yeah, the chair breaks immediately as he sits down.
Oh, I'm sorry, Mr. Foot. I'm really sorry.
He sort of crashes onto the ground, wood splintering out from underneath him.
Oh, it's okay. I'll just sit here.
I hold my hand out for more money.
Yeah, he hands you another 20.
Yes.
As the money changes hands, I'd like to give Charlie's hand a little slap.
Excuse me?
Did you need our help, Mr. Foot?
Maybe. Okay, first, you can call me Clive. That's kind of what my friends...
Clive. Okay.
Clive.
And can I see your teeth real quick? Any fangs?
No.
Okay, so not a Matlock.
I'm Bass.
Bass, okay. It's nice to meet you.
And he holds out just a giant hand, just so big.
I'd like to shake his hand.
All right, you can kind of wrap around the tip of his pinky finger.
And this is Charlie.
It's nice to meet you too.
I'm a crypto expert. I will figure this out.
Sasquatch, I think, is my general classification. No?
No.
Okay.
Where are you from? Like what state? Missouri?
No.
Okay, not a Momo.
Yeah, I had a bit of a problem this afternoon. Look, I'll be real with you guys. I think I'm about to get fired. So
we have, and he pulls his wallet out again, and he pulls out, you see that there's like card slots in there, and he pulls out a card that he hands to you, Jess.
So you're the cryptid expert?
Yeah.
And he hands you, and it's this beautiful embossed, like 1960s business card kind of style, and it just says Cryptid Club CEO. And then on the back,
he's the CEO?
Clive Bigfoot. And like an actual genuine Oregon phone number.
I look at it real closely. Does it seem legit?
It looks like a business card.
Yeah, I'm going to say it looks it's a business card. Like
Does
it's
this
really
paper look
nice.
real?
Like you feel it, and it's like that glossy kind of like cardboard
yeah.
like as well that has that little bit of a shine to it, and
Christian
like the
Bale
letters
is
are
drooling.
actually properly like embossed in, like you
Yeah.
can run your finger over it and feel the words as well.
Yeah.
So,
Charlie starts sweating, like just shaking with excitement.
we're a large organization kind of across the United States, as it were. We kind of consolidate all of the cryptids into sort of one hierarchy, and I kind of have the most sightings around the states, so I'm kind of the top dog, as it were. But we have a pretty solid set of rules about kind of code of conduct for being in the cryptid club, as it were. And one of those things is that there can't be any hard proof that you exist, because then you're just kind of a guy.
Yeah,
you know?
obviously.
You're not a you get it.
Yeah.
And I was coming home after a day of kind of, snapping twigs and very slowly passing in the distance.
Yeah.
And I got back to my den, was going to catch the latest broadcast from the radio station, and there was a flash, and then another flash, and some people started to run towards me, and I think there was one of those red blinky light things from a recorder, and a bear trap went off on my foot, and it all happened very fast. And those paparazzi kind of moments where just the light is blinding and you don't know what's going on, and I didn't have time to kind of grab any of my things, but I did have time to run. I have pretty long legs, so I can kind of get away fast. And yours was the first house that I came across. But yeah, so I'm cooked, basically, because that's going to get out there, and people are going to know that I'm real. They got a pretty good shot, and that kind of hasn't happened since the 60s, and I really almost got fired for that one.
You can get fired as a CEO.
Yeah, it's a democratic system.
Well, I think that means that we probably have to go and we get the photo for you.
You would do that?
Well, my mom always says that we have to treat others the way that we want to be treated. The AV club, right, at school, we have rules. And, when we have rules, they need to be followed. And I'd want to support your rules.
Wow. Thank you very much. You think you can get the evidence back? I really, the second, I mean, it was kind of okay in the 60s when you had to wait for a newspaper, but now the internet's kind of fast-tracked how quick this stuff gets round.
Oh, yeah.
Well, Charlie's the expert, so maybe you can...
Yeah, I'm going to have to call this one in. Like, we've just got to verify your identity. I mean, anyone could come in here with a business card of Bigfoot, especially in this town. So I've just got to, make sure that you are who you say you are. You understand, of course.
Of course. And he pulls out from his wallet, he has a Oregon National Parks pass. He has, hang on, I have these written down. He has an Oregon hunting license.
Oh my God.
And he also has, for some strange reason, has an Oregon driver's license. And you take a look at it, and it's just so painfully obvious that it's him in a massively oversized trench coat.
Yep.
And a spirit Halloween mask.
Yes. They let you do that now.
Yeah.
It's the 90s.
Yeah, absolutely.
Anything can happen in the 90s.
Yep.
Is this enough for you to verify?
And you see on all of the sort of state official stuff, his name isn't Clive Bigfoot, it's Clive Figboot.
Naturally.
Excellent.
Well, we have to sort this out really quickly because... Well, anybody, as people could be posting it anywhere, and they might put it on a blog that people actually read, and they might. You never know that.
Can you just, just make me a brawn check real quick?
Brawn or grit?
Grit, actually, I think because this is mental.
It's a 2.
It's a 2. That was really rough.
Yeah,
that was just so rough. I'm gonna say take an adversity token for how rough that was.
My eyes well up with tears, instant angst. Just I can't believe this kid just dogged on me.
Just in that way that those kids do, whether it's just that immediate that's the thing I'm sensitive about.
That's the thing I'm sensitive about. Straight to the core of my insecurity.
Maybe, we don't want that to be, we don't want you to lose your job.
You have no idea how grateful I am that you're both willing to help with this. I didn't get a great look at the people that that were taking the photos, but one of them was wearing like a hot pink track jacket. The one thing I did notice is that all their stuff, like their cameras and their video stuff, it all looked really like new, like fancy. And
wow.
I'm used to scaring the locals, and most of you are sort of still stuck back kind of 5 years ago, you know?
Okay, Bigfoot.
Well, maybe we can go to the video store, check it out, and maybe we can have a look and see if they've sold any of their camera equipment there.
I mean, it sounds like it might be someone from out of town, maybe, who's passing through. We could check. They seem pretty bright. Maybe at the campgrounds.
Yeah. Well, I think that, maybe we can go ask at the video store and start there, and then go to the campgrounds or the motel and see if there's pink people.
Sure. Yeah. I don't get into town much. This is really going to be your kind of area of expertise.
All right, but you can't stay here for long, right?
Charlie.
My mom's gonna come home. What am I gonna tell her?
His foot was stuck in a bear trap.
Yeah, and he's fine. He's got big feet. That's the whole thing.
Well, yeah, that's his main part. It's like if your big head got stuck in a bear trap.
Excuse me?
Yeah.
Talk to the hand.
Out of curiosity, what did Charlie do with the bear trap?
I put it in my backpack.
Okay.
It just drags along the ground.
All right.
Really heavy.
Add bear trap to your inventory.
Yeah.
Sure, why not?
I mean, I'm generally a lot better at hiding in the woods. It's just that they sort of caught me off guard.
Yeah.
Do you have a basement or an attic I could, or do I just need to?
I mean, my house is pretty far from here and not close to according to this map, my house is not close to the forest.
I mean, we've got an outdoor cellar sort of entrance. That means you could hang out in there. I think you'd fall through the attic, honestly.
That's fair.
If we put you there, then you got an outside way to get out as well, if you want.
That's good. That's good.
Sure, thanks. Have you got? I really don't mean to. I can pay you for him.
And he pulls out another 20 and hands it to you.
Stop. No.
I'm loving this.
I haven't eaten all day, and I was wondering if there were any snacks around. I was going to eat when I got home.
Mr. Foot, we'll stop with the cash.
Okay, hold on.
Are you sure? And he pulls another 20 out.
Yeah, no. I take Bass aside, and I'm like, think about it. Bigfoot is so commercial. This guy's got to be getting royalties for it. We've got to take as much as we can while we can. You know how much cash Bigfoot's got to have?
This poor man, he needs help.
Yeah?
He needs help. And we're not here to take all of his money from him.
What's he going to use it for?
Well, I don't know.
Shoes?
That was hilarious, okay? I admit, but I think that he seems like a nice man.
I feel like CEOs make enough money as it is, and maybe, we could redistribute some of that wealth.
But without Bigfoot, then we won't have all these people coming to town.
Okay, but it's a thing on its own at this point. We don't actually need a Bigfoot for there to be Bigfoot sightings.
What?
So where do I need to go?
What do you think these people are seeing?
Literally any of the other cryptids or people walking in the woods, like big people.
There is a lot. I will say that there are a lot of photos of me out there that are just some guy called Steve.
Here's the deal, Bigfoot.
Or
I point at him dramatically.
Sure, yeah. Yes?
I will stop taking your money, and I will help you.
Great.
If you introduce me to one of these. And I hold out a card towards him.
What's on the card?
I
can't see from this far away.
It's Jess's favorite cryptid that she only found while doing research for this character. It's called a squonk, and it's just a really ugly, skin too big for its body little pig creature that cries all the time. And if you catch one, it turns into a puddle of tears.
Oh my gosh. He looks at it.
Oh, Jerry from accounting is one of those. I'm sure I can hook you up with a meet and greet. Jerry's always looking to make new friends. He kind of spends a lot of time by himself.
This is my shot.
Mostly because, they turn into tears so much.
I imagine the turnover's got to be pretty huge.
Yeah, we go through a few of them a year. There's a pretty ironclad OSHA regulation for these guys.
I'd like to go to the fridge and I'd like to start just getting out all of that awful processed American 90s food that would be in there.
Absolutely.
That you just put it all in the microwave where it's like, Mum's cooking and she's just microwaving 6 different meals and putting them in the same thing.
everything in this fridge is microwavable,
Excellent.
including things that just should not be microwavable.
Microwavable milk.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, you can microwave milk.
True.
That's very much
That's how
a
you
thing
get
you
warm
can do.
milk. Yeah. I realized it as I was saying.
No, it's like you can't access the milk until it's been microwaved. Like it's like dry milk.
Yes.
And
Yeah. You got to do the.
Yeah, absolutely. And yeah,
Freeze-dried
he'll just start taking it from you. If you point him in a direction, he will go to the place you want him to
Great.
go.
I'll take him outside and I'll open the little hatch for him.
Brilliant, yeah.
Mr. Foot, before you go, and maybe we could you've given us so much money.
Oh, it's really not that much. And he pulls out another 20.
Thank you.
Thank you.
How much have I given you now? Like
$80.
$80? Great.
Assuming they're 20s each time.
We can get you some food something you like, maybe?
Oh, I normally get one of the park guys to bring me the lot from the diner.
The lot?
Okay.
Okay.
It's the biggest
Yeah.
sandwich that they make.
Yeah.
They give it to you for free if you eat it in one sitting, but
Okay.
I can't actually go in, so I have to pay for it every time. But you know, that's okay.
Seems like you got cash to burn.
He gives you another 20.
No.
Yes.
Okay. All right. We can see if look, it's
I found a way to win kids on bikes.
Yeah.
Just to get money from Bigfoot.
Okay. We can get you the lot.
Great.
Maybe 2 for all that money that you've been given.
I stick my tongue out.
He climbs down the stairs into the
Stay safe, Mr. Foot.
I will.
and sort of you see just one big hand stick out from the stairwell and wave at you.
I bet he's a different cryptid disguised as Bigfoot because we'd recognize him. I have to air quotes on that one.
I would like to go and get my bike and my bag, and we're going to go to the video store.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Video store.
Video killed the radio star.
I hate that song.
I loved that song.
I hate that song. It's like one of my least favorite songs ever.
Wow.
You grab your bike, Charlie, you grab yours.
Yeah, man.
And you jump on and you cycle down to the video store. It's a pretty straight shot down the highway. It's a very quick ride. You're there in sort of under 10 minutes and you pull up at the video store. There's like sort of one car parked in the little lot that's there, but there's really only like 3 spaces for anyone to park at this little video store. You're both, I imagine, regulars here. Perhaps Bass more than Charlie.
I cycle through X-Files on repeat.
Yeah, great. And you walk into the store. There's sort of one other patron here at the moment, an older guy that you know from sort of around town. He's one of the factory workers looking through the comedy section. And you see behind the counter is a face you both recognize. Behind the counter, sitting in a chair, sort of spinning very lazily side to side, he's got a notebook out
Bass's mum.
that he's writing furiously in, is a boy called Clinton. Clinton is 17 and he is the president of the AV club.
Yes.
He gets along pretty well with you, Bass. He's also very, very into film. He's the one that originally showed you how to cut and edit a reel of film. He loathes you, Charlie.
Good.
He cannot stand you. He thinks you are a massive waste of space, and he tells you that every single AV club meeting.
I have a crush on him.
Yeah, absolutely. The AV club meeting, the agenda that he opens with every single week, point 1 is Charlie's a nuisance and she shouldn't be here. And
You're going to marry that man.
he's just hanging out behind the counter. But he sort of looks up as you walk in. There's one of those annoying, like, electronic bells on the door that make that really awful sound because it's the 90s and they're still really bad. And he looks up and he sees you first, Bass. Bass. The next Tarantino, I think I've got the new one in. And he starts...
And what is that? What's it called? Clinton? Pulp Fiction came out in 94. So
Okay, well, just... Fine, he pulls out Pulp Fiction. I know you've been waiting for it since it was in the cinema. I know it's your favorite. Been holding it for you.
Oh, yeah.
I'm just assuming that Pulp Fiction came out in March 1995 on VCR, guys.
Oh my God.
Okay, I'll take
We're
it.
saying it.
Oh, thanks.
Straight to video.
Clinton. Also worth noting,
Don't at me.
Also worth noting at this time that I'm like 10?
Yeah.
9?
10?
Yeah.
I thought you were 12.
I think that I had to make myself younger because I'm named in-world. I'm named after
Neverending Story,
Bastian
right.
from Neverending Story, which was
Yeah.
84, I think.
Okay.
Might be 82.
Wow. Yeah. Well, Clinton just hands it straight to you. He really likes you. Like, he's your hookup for all of the R-rated, because in America it's R, all the R-rated movies that you want to rent and you know your parents would never let you get.
Hey, Clint.
Yeah. And he sees Charlie now and sort of narrows his eyes.
Charlie's been...
But then focuses straight back onto Bass.
Charlie's been looking, not really, but looking at some of the films directly across from the desk so that her back is to him so she could keep looking over her shoulder at him.
Are you trying to be flirtatious?
Yes.
Can you make me a charm roll? This is going to be... I'm going to be so mean to you.
Yeah.
This is going to be difficulty 15.
Great. I need to explode twice. That's a 1.
That's a 1?
That's a 1.
Take an adversity token.
Slip it for all of the videos.
Yes, well, we're about to kind of run into one of the other mechanics in Kids on Bikes, which is that there is like a ranking system to failures, and this is what is considered an extreme failure.
Yeah.
So, Jess, do you want to tell me how this goes so wrong?
Yeah, so I think I turn over my shoulder and like it's actually okay for a second. Like it's like, okay, you know, like maybe it's all right. But then as she goes to turn back, her hair gets caught in her mouth.
Brilliant.
She starts to choke. She falls down on one of the shelves. Just stacks and stacks of VCRs begin to fall on her, and she starts to choke on her retainer. And she's like,
I'm fine. Clinton rolls his eyes and ignores you. The guy in the back of the store who was looking at the comedies runs over to you and immediately starts doing his like DSR ABCDs.
which back then was just your ABCs.
Yes, to check that you're okay.
Do the Heimlich
Yeah, pretty much.
in the background.
But yeah, Clinton...
Just regularly in this other interaction, I won.
What can I do you for, Bass?
Sorry, she's just
It's Charlie. I'm well used to this by now. I'm fine. There's some water, and he just points to like the fridge where you could buy a bottle of water.
Well, I was just I heard that there was some people who have come into town with some really fancy gear, and I wasn't sure if you're pretty across at all. So I thought that maybe you would know.
Can you make a charm roll for me? Mm-hmm. This guy loves you. It's difficulty 2.
Okay, it's a 2.
It's a 2? Alrighty. Yeah, he looks at you for a minute, just a tiny bit confused as to why you would be asking this question. But then he sort of shakes that off. I had some guys in here with a pretty fancy camcorder, the latest model. It was crazy. Wow. They wanted some extra tape for it, so I sold them a couple of tapes.
Well, did you are they coming to AV Club?
No, they're full adults.
Oh
man, they're like I think one of like.
Oh, that's not what I heard. So no, that's all right.
I sidle up to the counter and slam down a Crystal Pepsi and slide across a 20.
Just a few seconds ago, I see Jess putting the phone away, Googling Crystal Pepsi.
No, I was looking if the Baja Blast had come out yet, and that was many. And I was like, discontinued sodas, 1995.
He, in the way that every exhausted retail worker doesn't even look at you as he just like puts it through. Doesn't even look at the price, just gives you the correct change.
I slide it back and say, keep the change.
Sure.
Tipping someone at a video store is so wild.
I've recently heard that she's coming to a little bit of cash, so.
I'm liquid, baby.
Just a 14-year-old with a retainer. I am liquid, baby.
Oh, that's wow.
I want that on a t-shirt.
Oh my gosh. It's not proprietary, guys. We can put that on a t-shirt. I'm a liquid, baby.
Those characters you hate so much that you kind of start to like them again.
$100 cash and Charlie's confidence has gone through the ceiling.
I just paid this man so much extra.
You just gave him $20 for a can of Pepsi in 1995.
It's one of those big bottles of Pepsi, I think.
Okay.
I think it's like,
Okay.
Still, it's 1995.
It's a lot. It's so much.
But yeah, I think they were from the campsite.
Oh, okay.
They had one of those. One of them had like the lanyard for the boom gate on.
Sorry, that was my mistake. My mom said that there were some people around who maybe could come to AV Club, but I must have.
I mean, we're starting semester on Monday. We might get a few new signups. And you know that he's been like, there's like one big pin board that he has every single day religiously been putting a flyer up for AV Club, and every single day, like clockwork, that thing is gone by 10 minutes into the school day.
Oof.
It's a rough time for you guys.
Okay.
I'm sure we're getting new signups soon. It's any day. I can feel it.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Me too. You know? I'm with like something like this out and I'm holding up Pulp Fiction. Like I just, this is the new wave of cinema.
He's revolutionizing the way that we make film.
Of course.
I mean, it would be nice if maybe a few people from the AV Club found other things to do with their time.
Don't worry, I'm crediting you in my latest manifesto.
Please don't.
Don't worry, kid. And I give you the bottle of Crystal Pepsi. Take a hit of that and everything will be A-okay.
Well, thanks, Clint.
No worries. If you've got anything that you've been working on over the spring break, I'll love to cut it together with you.
How much do I owe you for this?
Oh, that's on the house.
Oh, keep the change.
He laughs.
Okay.
And you see the guy who helped you with your retainer problem is now walking up to the counter with like a stack of like 5 VCRs. They're all Chevy Chase family movies.
Good.
And I'd like to rush off and I'll run back into the comedy section and I'll grab popular comedy from the 1990s.
Quick, Jess, Google for us.
Oh, I mean, if you like Chevy Chase, you'll probably like this one. Sorry, just saw your collection.
Oh, thanks very much.
And it's okay.
And he
Priscilla, Queen of the...
Yes.
Wait, was it?
If you like Chevy Chase, you might like...
You hand this 6'2" burly flannelette wearing factory worker, Priscilla, Queen of the Desert. And he nods and he thanks you and he gives you a big hearty pat on the back and he puts them all down on the counter.
Yeah.
It's a little different. I hope you enjoy.
Obsessed.
Yeah, excellent.
I love that somehow Priscilla has made it into this little video store where we get everything 18 months later.
Forrestview, Oregon.
We got Priscilla.
Yeah.
Anyway. The Mask came out in 1994.
Oh, gosh.
So think about that as a humor.
See, that would have been much more appropriate.
All right. What are you doing?
So, Charlie, and I just hand Charlie back the Pepsi.
You're welcome.
Okay. And nobody wants that. So we're...
You're Losh. And I chug it and then get that really upset stomach where you need to burp, but you can't because you've got so much in there. And it's just that's okay.
Yeah.
Oh God.
Well, they're I might have misunderstood, but they're like grown-ups.
What?
The people.
Oh,
the bear
right.
trap
The
people. The Mr. Foot people.
Yeah, that makes sense. They've got a bear trap. They're kind of hard to get when you're a kid. I tried.
And they're at the campground.
Okay.
Just across a couple of blocks away, as you know, because
I know where. Obviously,
I'm sorry, but I'm still getting my bearings. It's only been a couple of years.
Yeah, I get it. All right, let's booyah. I can't think of it.
Let's slay that away.
Charlie says, "Let's booyah." You jump on your bikes and cycle to the campground. You pass the local swimming pool and you can see that the school swim team is in there and training. It's getting towards the end of spring and they're it's hot enough now here in Oregon for them to start training. And you can sort of hear them taking their laps. You cycle round the side and you come up to the campgrounds. It is surprisingly busy for springtime. There is maybe one plot in the campground that's empty and everything else is filled with tents. There are people sitting on the outdoor areas taking some afternoon tea. There are cars in nearly all of the campsites. And I would say you both notice pretty quickly, this is a campground normally used by sort of families on holiday. There is not a child in sight. and it's just that little bit weird.
Yeah.
But you cycle up and you see there's sort of one entrance to the campground. There is a boom gate and a booth, and sitting in the booth is a pimply teenager.
Do we know them?
You can't tell from this far away because it's the booth.
It's like a teenager, they're pimply, that's it.
Yeah, the sort of the light reflecting on the glass is sort of blocking your view. You'd need to get right up to them to know who it is.
Charlie, they look like a pimply teen.
Yeah.
Sounds like your kind of crowd.
Yeah. I got this. I unzip my vest. I dismount my bike and hand it over to Bass, and I shimmy up to the boom gates.
You shimmy up to the boom gate. As you get closer, you hear the crackling of a radio that's echoing through the booth.
Hello and welcome to KFVW 92.7 FM. This is Devin Scott with Boys in the Wood. We are coming to you live at 4:30 here with the latest updates from our great old town of Forrestview.
Boys in the Wood!
You know as well, just for flavor, these guys on the radio, Devin Scott, just the whitest men you've ever met.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. The original podcasters.
Yeah. And the young boy sort of listening to them is in your year at school, Charlie. He is 15, so just a tiny bit older than you. His birthday was earlier in the year than yours was. Yep. And his name is Ethan.
Ethan.
I would say Charlie's probably fairly studious, right? She's obviously very invested in the cryptid, but also
I think in that way that you don't even have to try a lot of the time, where it's it's easy and I don't really care, but the teachers seem to think I'm doing a good job.
Yeah. You've seen Ethan in maybe 3 classes all term.
A bad boy.
Charlie just has a crush on everybody.
I mean, you do when you're 14.
Yeah.
I guess.
Yeah. Every week, a new person.
Yeah.
But he looks up at you, sees you shimmying. What the hell? Make a charm roll.
Oh, no.
This will be a little less tricky. I'd say this is going to be difficulty 9.
Just need to explode once for this one.
You can do it.
Okay, I rolled a 6.
Okay.
I rolled 5.
Whoa.
Oh my God. I shimmy real good, you
Okay,
guys.
so that's an 11.
11.
So that's just a solid success.
Yeah.
But yeah, you walk up, you shimmy.
Booyah.
And I'm going to say, for the first time in your life, Charlie, you see a boy look twice in the way that you want a boy to look twice. He looks up, he looks down, and then he looks up. And he slaps off the radio as quick as he can. And you sort of see him so uncool in the reflection of the sort of window that he's working in, try to fix his hair underneath the campground cap that he has to wear as part of his uniform.
Yep.
And then just, hey.
Elbow up on the window next to him. What's up, Homschleisch?
Not much. Baby doll?
No. Try again.
Cute lips?
We'll take it. So, what you doing out here? Just hanging?
Yeah, just hanging. I mean, I also have to I check people in to the campground. You hit a camp. Cute lips.
Maybe we can try a different one next time.
Okay, sure. No,
just keep changing it up. We'll find a rhythm.
I'll find it.
Yeah. You got this. Yeah. I mean, I have a house, so no, but I'm just here to hang out and check out the hood and or whatever.
Sure. Spring blossom.
Okay. Yeah.
I kind of been. I maybe let a few people in that don't have a camp pass, and I kind of if I do it again, I'll get fired. So do you have?
Well, then hand me one of those passes. Homschleisch.
Can you make me? I'm gonna say you're gonna need to make me another charm roll.
That's so valid. Spring blossom is really cute though.
Thank you.
I heard home slice and I was like, great, I've got everything I need to get out of this RP interaction as a listener. I love it.
Thank you.
It's gonna be another charm roll.
Yep.
This time it's only difficulty 6.
It is possible.
It's possible. It's so possible for you.
It's so possible.
Possible.
That's a 2.
Okay.
And I do not have enough adversity tokens.
Okay. So you sort of put your hand out for the pass, and as you do, you see a sort of very stern woman, very sharp campgrounds uniform, just walking past in the distance, and she like pulls up a whistle and blows it at a full adult who's just like coming out of their tent. You don't even think you see them doing anything wrong, and they sort of scamper to attention, but you see that Ethan also looks up and sees she's right there and looks at you.
Yeah, I think I like jump and like flail and slap him in the face. And I'm like, oh my God, I'm so sorry.
No, it's cool, Spring Blossom. I don't think I can give you a pass. I'm sorry.
Can you show me what the pass looks like?
Yeah, he'll just sort of hold up a lanyard that has like a sort of card in it. It's not like an automatic swipe or you need a code. It's just that you show him a pass and he clicks a button on the boom gate and you're allowed.
Yeah,
in.
got you.
Bass, are you doing anything while this interaction is going on?
I'm watching it go well.
Yeah, well enough.
I can see that there's some tension, I imagine,
Yes.
as we go on.
Yeah.
I would like to see if I can cause some kind of trouble
Yeah.
in order to get Ethan away
Yeah.
from the thing. When I can kind of, I think like maybe a little bit later than what we've actually done from the RP interaction, where I can kind of see Charlie slumping and maybe starting, like I can see that we're not getting where we need to go here.
Yeah.
So
I think the whistle sort of snapped you out of your Bass world. You looked over and you saw Charlie slap Ethan and just went, this is not happening
Not
anymore.
going well.
Yeah. So yeah, is there like something like a window that can be smashed?
Wow.
Or
something can
be messed with?
So Ethan's in one of those like old fashioned like kind of ticket booth kind of things. So it's like there's like 2 windows on either side so he can talk to people coming in and out. There's wire fencing all around, and pretty close to the fencing around you, there's a couple of tents like pitched up, one of the tables with a bunch of people just sort of like eating afternoon tea. They've got some chips, they've got some soft drinks. So there's a few things around.
I would like to go and grab a rock.
Yeah.
And I would like to, as sneakily as possible, throw a rock over the fence or through the fence
Yep.
and hit one of the people
Okay.
at the thing to cause some kind of scene.
All right. I would call this a fight roll because you are attempting to attack someone with a rock. They're pretty close to you. So I would say this is difficulty 7.
That's a 6, and I'm going to spend 1 adversity token
Beautiful.
We love to hear it.
to hit that person.
Alrighty. Where would you like to hit the person?
I want to kind of cause a scene, so maybe like head, but not face.
Okay.
I don't want to hurt them, so the head.
Yeah.
You throw your rock over the fence in a beautiful arc, and it hits directly into the back of this sort of mid-20s guy's head, and he is mid-sip of a bottle of Coca-Cola, and he sprays it out everywhere, across everybody at the table. The girl sitting across from him squeals, stands up too fast, trips over the sort of bench of the table and lands flat on her face. Someone goes to help her but upends the bowl of chips. Because they've upended the bowl of chips, a couple of birds that were sitting nearby immediately swoop down to grab the food, and it is pandemonium. Ethan looks up, sees it, sees his manager across the campground, who is immediately zeroed in on this, and looks at you.
I'm so sorry, Spring Blossom. I gotta go solve this.
And just runs towards the camping bench.
And I run back towards where Charlie is.
Great.
Brilliant. You are at the boom gate. Both the manager and Ethan are distracted by this afternoon tea fiasco.
Great.
What are you doing?
I lean in and I swipe one of the lanyards.
Yep, perfect.
And then press the button to open the boom gate.
Yeah. You grab that camp pass, you press that button. It's pretty obvious which one it is.
Yep.
There's like one
the big
button.
red button.
Yep.
If Ethan can do it.
If Ethan can do it, anyone can
The
do it.
love of my life.
And you cycle in and you have free run of these campgrounds.
Okay, so
Was that you?
was what me? I saw it in a movie once.
I just give you a high five.
So where were they? Did you find out where they are?
No, I got us in. That was like the whole thing, right? Was I supposed to?
I think it's a bit rich to say that you got us in.
Okay, we got us in.
Yeah.
Are you happy with that?
Well, I thought that you were going to be like, hey, where's,
I didn't really
like,
get
ooh,
time.
cool.
Someone threw a rock at a guy's head.
That? Was that before or after you slapped him?
Hey, he didn't seem to mind that much.
You hear 3 sharp whistles and you see that the camping table fiasco has turned into a brawl, and the campers are now fighting each other over the chips.
Are any of them in pink tracksuits?
No. None of the campers at the table are in pink tracksuits.
My mom says that if you want to get a nice person, then you have to treat them nicely. And I don't think that slapping somebody in the face is a nice way to treat people.
I don't think throwing a rock at someone's head's pretty nice either.
Well, I think that Mr. Foot is more important than that person's head.
Oh, okay. So we're ranking people by their ability to contribute to society?
Well, I guess I was wrong.
We just got to look for these guys, all right? Do you want to stick together or?
No.
Fine.
I think we'll cover more ground separately.
All right, well, split up then.
Okay, great. And I try to pull the lanyard from you.
I was going to give it to you, but now that you tried to pull it from me, I do not let it go.
Okay, this is going to be a contested fight.
Oh, no.
And this is a split-second decision.
Yeah.
So you do not get to half. You just roll, and whoever's got the bigger number.
Oh, that's bad.
It's pretty good. I get a +1, so that's a 7.
Okay.
That's a 2.
All right. Take her an adversity token, Nathan.
I hold it above your head so that you
and
can't reach it.
Charlie has this lanyard.
Well, I guess that we're just staying together then, aren't we?
What do you mean?
Well, I can't just be wandering on the campground without a lanyard. They'd be like, what are you doing here?
You are the youngest person here. That is true.
With your mom. That's what they'll say.
Did people say that to you a lot?
Where's your
that?
mom?
Did you come from New York? Where's your mom?
You know that's not where Charlie,
Charlie
you know that's not where I came from.
came from Weirdo Land.
Canada is a beautiful country.
I'm sure it is now that you're not there. Come on. And I start walking up.
Alrighty. So what are you looking for?
A pink tracksuit
All right.
or video equipment, I guess.
Is somebody filming an exercise video?
Yeah. I'm going to say this is grit because that's your sort
Okay.
of street smart stat. So this is you sort of, looking around, trying to like nosy in on people's tents, nosy in on what people are doing and see what's going on.
Okay.
If you want to make an argument for a different stat, please do.
I have a really good
Yeah, I was
grit.
gonna say.
I have a
Actually,
20 in grit.
I'm gonna give this one to you.
Yeah.
You got this, kid.
I will say this is difficulty 8. I do just also want to remind you that this is one of these situations where you could take half.
Okay, I take half. Sorry, it's a new game for me. I will take half.
Because you're taking the time to do it,
Yeah.
you can take half and succeed.
So I would like to take half to
Yeah.
succeed, which would be a 10.
Brilliant. Alrighty. So you walk around for a while. You definitely feel out of place. The youngest person you can see here that's not you guys looks about 21, 22. You wander around for sort of maybe 10, 15 minutes. You don't see anybody in a pink tracksuit and you're starting to feel that this might have been a bit of a dead end. And then Bass, out of the corner of your eye, inside a currently empty tent, you see a bright pink backpack.
Charlie.
yeah.
Over there.
Over there.
I don't make fun of your voice.
There's nothing to
And
make fun
I think
of.
that we have to, I think there's plenty to make fun of there.
Okay.
Okay. So, if you look over there,
Oh my God. Are you serious right now?
if you look over there, there's a pink backpack.
Should we go look in the tent? Like,
Surely the camera would be in the backpack. We just take the backpack.
but what if they're not the one who had the camera? There was multiple people there, right?
Well, we'll find out when we take the backpack.
Okay.
I'm gonna give it back. We'll just,
You go get the backpack. then.
Okay.
I'll keep lookout.
I'd like to go in and
Okay.
get the backpack. Well, but first, as I approach, because you're on lookout,
Yeah.
I'd like to be like just cognizant of if somebody's in the tent,
Yeah.
and then grab the backpack and book it.
Just make me a flight roll, difficulty of 5, just to sort of be on your mark as this is all going on.
Okay, that's a 6.
Yeah. You sort of sneak towards the tent. There is no one else in this tent.
Yeah.
You manage to duck out of the eye line of another camper that's walking out of another tent, and you get up to the backpack.
Okay, I would like to kind of like do 2 things at once.
Okay.
I'd like to be grabbing the backpack, pulling the backpack off like whatever peg it's on.
Yep.
And just kind of looking into the tent to see if there's anything else in there that might, like lots of camera equipment or a camera bag or something.
Okay. Make me another grit roll. Difficulty 8 again. I'm going to say you can't halve this one because you're doing it in the moment. You're trying to get in and out as quick as possible.
No problem. That was a 4.
Alrighty.
So that is not a success.
Okay. You do a quick scan around as you're grabbing the backpack. All you can see are sort of sleeping bags and like there's a couple of umbrellas. There's like a sort of a heavier sort of night coat. You do notice, I'll say, this is a tent that's being used by more than one person. It looks like there's at least 3 people that are sharing this tent, but you're not entirely sure because you're taking a very quick look. As you grab the backpack off the peg, something in a flash that you weren't expecting flies out towards you. Can you make me a contested flight roll, please?
That exploded.
Okay.
Yes.
That's a 12.
A 12. You startle. You almost drop the backpack, but not quite, as a moth flies out past your nose and just brushes
The
across you.
Mothman.
Guys, it's a tiny Mothman.
He's a teeny tiny mothman. But you're good. You've got the backpack.
I look over to Charlie,
Who's keeping excellent lookout.
a tiny nod, and sprint away. Like away
Great.
from her. Just
Okay.
like I'm going to find somewhere as hidden as possible.
Okay. You're just going to roll me flight and tell me what you get. That explodes.
Explodes.
Wow.
That is a 10.
A 10. Yeah, you sort of sprint in between tents and there's sort of a big brick building where you know there's some like dormitories and like places where if they have like a school camping trip come in, they stay there. And behind there's a bunch of bushes that just never really get taken care of. Charlie, you know it as the place where sort of everyone goes to make out.
Yeah, I was going to say, like, big bushes behind a camp
Yeah.
dormitory.
Yeah. I don't know how much you would know about
No.
that, Bass, and you just run straight into those bushes and hunker down. As you're keeping lookout, Charlie,
Yeah.
make me grit.
That's a 3.
As a 3, take an adversity token. You were trying to beat Nathan's 10 there
I see.
to see where Bass was going.
Yeah.
And you've just missed him.
Scamp.
You sort of turn back around to see how Bass is going with the backpack, and Bass is not in the tent anymore. So, Charlie, you are a bit on your own right now.
Ash always. Okay, but I do genuinely get that anxiety that only occurs when a child that was supposed to be under your care has
Yeah.
suddenly disappeared. And it's
Absolutely.
like, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
You've-
okay.
I think you've also got the anxiety of being now the only visible child in this campsite with 2 bikes because Bass full left his bike
we
with
brought
you.
the bikes in. Oh no. Okay. Okay, Charlie, you got this. I'm gonna stash the bikes.
Yeah.
Sort of just up against like a building.
Yeah, there's only the one building.
Great.
So I'll say, just for the sake of sort of brevity, you grab both bikes and you sort of run them up to the building. And
That awkward
Bass-
dance you
yeah.
have to do when you're carrying 2 bikes, but like they don't really want to go the same
yes.
direction.
And Bass, you sort of hear this rattle, rattle, rattle of the 2 bikes coming towards you and the, I imagine, very awkward clunking of Charlie trying to get both of them.
Ow.
Yeah.
Damn.
Charlie,
What? Where'd you go?
I'm right here. You can.
You just gave me the creepiest little kid look. Just like the wide-eyed, like, I'm right here.
I'm sorry that I'm in character.
You should be.
Get around it. Come on. And before she even arrives, I'm unzipping that backpack.
Beautiful. You unzip the backpack. You do not find any of the recording equipment.
Dang.
There are a couple of water bottles. There is a very nice sort of collapsible umbrella. There is a bag of trail mix.
I'll take
And-
no, I won't take the comics.
You find
Ooh.
this.
Oh my God. It's a wanted poster.
There is a flyer.
Have you seen Bigfoot? Call this. If we call this number, what's going to happen? Is this like some kind of interactive
No, you cannot call that number.
reward for evidence? 500 per photograph, 1,000 for video, which we have, $5,000 for capture.
I mean, in a way, we do have him captured.
Also, again, an incredibly beautiful piece
Yeah.
that Nathan
Yeah.
has created.
Genuinely looks a little bit like a sketch artist version of like Zodiac Killer, but it's Bigfoot.
You can look forward to our Zodiac Killer one-shot coming in December this year.
Yeah, man. We got him.
How does
did it.
Miriam know the code? Better not to ask.
Okay. I mean, there's lots of people here.
Yeah.
Is this it?
I haven't heard any chattering on the board, but like, I also stick away from the Bigfoot stuff. I mean, it's ridiculous, you know?
Well, clearly not that ridiculous.
Well, I'm still not fully convinced that it's not just like, you know, a Momo or something, but
You look at the number and it is an Oregon area code.
it's someone like local, I guess.
We should call the number.
Okay. Is your house closer or is mine?
Yours.
Is there a payphone? I've got cash.
There is one payphone in the town. It is next to the town hall.
Like, let's just go home.
Okay.
You know? Will your parents, if they check the bill, my mom would notice.
I mean, no, not really. Like, I don't tend to make that many calls, so I don't
Must
really
be
look
nice.
for it. Okay.
You think if you ride home now, you will get back before book club is finished. They tend to spend like an hour talking about the book and then the wine gets cracked out and they spend about an hour gossiping about everything happening in the town.
Should we return the backpack? We should return the backpack.
Just leave it in the bushes.
I mean, we should check out the tent, shouldn't we? We haven't found what we're looking for. If we go in the tent, the photos could just be there.
Yeah, I guess. But like, this is probably a bigger problem, right? Because it could have been multiple people from multiple tents. And like, maybe if we can find where they're supposed to be sending this stuff to, we can find everyone's evidence. Because they probably already handed it in, right? To get the reward.
Yeah.
We can burn down the office. That's how you destroy evidence.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, that sounds sound.
It tracks.
Oh, God, your kids.
Yeah, we are.
But I think we should check the tent.
Okay.
And return the backpack.
Okay.
Because
fine.
what if they're like evil? Then they'll be like, oh, my backpack's missing.
Is that what evil people sound like?
Well, they don't sound like this, do they?
How dare you?
You know, I wish that Clint was on this instead of you. That's what I say, Charlie. I wish I was at Clint's house and Bigfoot came into his house.
I'm gonna roll grit again.
Yeah, do it.
It's a 3.
Take another adversity token from that sick burn.
Oh, and I give a burn and I take an adversity. We're just taking adversity tokens now.
I start crying again and I'm just like, whatever, and I run away.
Okay.
Like loudly crying in this camp.
All right. You start crying. Do you grab your bike?
Yeah, grab my
Yeah.
bike and I start to bike away.
You grab your bike. You start to bike away. You have the backpack, Bass. You can
Start
do
to
what you
bike
want
away
with it.
towards the front entrance, which Ethan has probably gotten back to.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Exposed.
What are you doing with this backpack, Baz?
I'm just going to leave it. Yeah.
Okay. You drop this backpack in the bushes. Are you keeping the flyer or are you putting the flyer in the backpack?
Oh, yeah. I'm going to keep the flyer. I'm going to fold it and
Cool.
put it in my stuff.
Brilliant.
Also, I'm going to put the backpack in the bushes, but like zip it up as if I haven't looked through it.
Yeah.
And I'm going to put it like next to the bushes. So if
Okay.
somebody's walking past, they're like, wait a minute, what's my backpack doing there? I'm not hiding it.
Yep. Excellent.
Because I feel bad.
This
for,
bright pink
Cool.
backpack.
yeah, I feel bad
Yeah.
for taking somebody's backpack. And I go back to the tent.
And what are you hoping to achieve while you're in the tent?
I am looking for the photos or camera
Okay.
so I can take the film.
You can make me either a flight or a grit roll, difficulty of 7.
I'm going to take half.
Yeah.
And do 10 on my grit roll.
Okay, perfect. You do not find the evidence that you are looking for in here. You do find like a couple of empty rolls of film, and you find someone's diary that has a couple of photos of them at like a couple of the other national parks.
Does the diary mention Bigfoot at all? Like towards the last few entries?
Yeah, you find sort of the last entry that's in there is from the night before. It says that they have arrived in some backwater town in Oregon. They don't even name it because they heard on one of the Bigfoot forums that there was some pretty good money going for hard evidence, but that it needed to be in pretty quick.
Is there a marker anyway?
Like a pen?
Yeah.
Yeah, you can find something to write with.
Okay, great. on the next free page in this diary,
Yep.
I'd like to write in a child scrawl, stay away. And then like a dash as if it's signed, Mr. Foot.
Wow. Big moves.
Make me a charm roll.
Roll.
Yeah, just roll charm.
Oh, God.
Get 'em.
I'm bad at that.
Just to see how scary you're being.
4.
4. Okay.
Excellent.
You, Bass,
Yeah.
think this
Truly
is
believe.
so authentic. You genuinely think that they're going to open this diary and just pack their bags immediately and like run screaming from this town.
Of course.
Yeah.
I'd like to like write it, close the book. Yeah. Did it. And then kind of like try and put the room back together. But I would imagine I would do quite a point. Like it's quite clearly been moved and ransacked and stuff.
Yes. Yeah.
And then exit
Great.
and go back to my bike.
You grab your bike.
Yeah.
Charlie, you grab your bike. You both begin to head out of the campsite. And I think that's where we're going to call the session. You've been listening to Best Left Forgotten. You can find and follow us on Twitter and Instagram at Best Left Podcast and on our Best Left Forgotten Facebook page, where we post updates, info, and additional content. Music by Kevin MacLeod and Incompetech.com, licensed under Creative Commons by Attribution 3.0. Full song list and additional artists can be found in the episode description. Cover art by Cattywampus, who can be found on Fiverr. Thanks to Jess Wolfendale, our editor, Miriam Feats, our social media manager, and Nathan Quadrio, our producer. If you enjoyed our podcast today, please leave a review and tell your friends.